All right, so it's been overnight, and now it's time to strain or drain away the marinade from the jerky. You ever seen one of these colanders that pops open like that? Very cool. The sides adjust and stuff, so great for an RV or any small apartment space you have. Christmas gift. All right, so get this open. You can see, God, it smells so good. It's become a dark mahogany color. And we're just going to put it in here. We want, obviously, the marinade to get into the meat, but you want the meat pretty dry when you're smoking it. So I'm putting this into a Bradley smoker, so it smokes, but it also has an oven. So we want the smoke to stick to the meat, which means it needs to be drier. So I'm going to go ahead here and let this drain for a good while. The peppers are clogging up the little holes here. So you can see these pieces are pretty huge. Not all of it got saturated though, which is my fault. So we'll go ahead and maybe just do that. This recipe concept was turned on to me by Palmetto Prepared. He did a recipe using pork, which is actually one of the recipes that I showed you is one of the ones that I used. But I use his plus another one that I throw in, like the lime juice is not something he uses, but I like it. I like the acidity. So it's kind of a mix between the two. Anyway, that said, beef prices are so freaking astronomical, and I love jerky. But pork tenderloin, $1.99 a pound. I have 7.5 pounds of it here. 7.5 pounds. So that's pretty awesome. Let's let it dry, and then let's go set up the smoker. So here's the Bradley smoker. We have it on a little cart here. Inside these racks are what you put the jerky on, and then it's hard to see, but there's shelves in here. Add them in. So we'll add the jerky to it. Here's a safety plate, and down here is a bowl with water. And this is a puck system, so it's on a, what do you call that? You know what I mean. They go forward, ting, 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 and then they fall into here when they're burned up. So we're going to turn, well, I'm going to leave the smoker off while this heats up. Turn the oven on, and we're supposed to be, oh, see, it's going, oh, don't go too far. Yeah. Supposed to start at temp 140F, and that's just to dry out the jerky when we put it in there. Then we turn on the smoke, increase the temperature, and go from there. So right now I'm just going to let this heat up while the jerky is kind of drying in the colander. Put that closed, and yeah, we'll heat it up. So these pucks are convenient, obviously. I don't have to be in here with wood chips, but you can use wood chips if you run out of it. You just can't use the system. I jerry-rigged something with a aluminum plate, and this is lubricants. I'm using mesquite today. So while that heats up, I am going to go dry off the rest of the jerky, and we'll come out and put it on the racks and throw it in here. All right, so I got about 7.5 pounds. I started with about 4 pounds and some change on the racks. So I'm gonna have to do a couple goes here. And now we just slide these in here, and So we do this temperature for 35 to 40 minutes, 140. And then when that's dry, that should dry out the meat. And the reason we do that is because the smoke sticks better when it's dry. And then when I come out to turn it up, what I like to do is I rearrange the racks. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 racks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6. And there we go. So got that on. My little helper gnome turned the smoke on early, but that's okay. We'll just do that. And I'll set my own alarm. Right now, you can see that the oven's on. The smoke is on. You can turn up or turn down the rate of smoke. Turn it off even if you want to, or you could just dry smoke altogether. But I've got the oven and the smoker on, so yeah, we'll come back and just look at it in about half hour, 45 minutes. So far, so good. All right, so it's been about 40 minutes. Take a look. Everything's looking good. And I'm just going to take a minute here and rearrange some stuff. Done. And now we go up to 160. Oven timer, oven temp. 160. I'm actually going to set the timer up. Oh. Timer higher. Smoke is on. The wood's at 140. I think that's okay. And check the top. I've got this open all the way. I could close it down. Actually, I'm going to close it down a little bit. I still get that draw, but I like a heavy smoke flavor. So, all right, now we'll come back in about 2.5 hours and check it again. All right, you guys, so I came back out again, and I just wanted to take a look. And I see some of these are done. Some of them are not done. So what I'm going to do is go through the rack. Like you can probably see this one, that's definitely done. But some of these really are not done. So I'm going to pull off the done ones and kind of move everybody around. It was pretty crowded when I put all of these on here, and I probably should not have done it like that. That's done enough. But you know, that's part of the game. So yeah, I'll flip these around a little bit, move the racks around again. Yeah, some of these significantly done, right? But they're still bendable and wonderful. So anyway, I'm going to do that real quick, and I'll be back in a minute. All right, so I went through there, and I'd say I've got about half of them done. Some of them are pretty darn done. This one hiding in the back, but most of them look pretty good. So we'll know more when they cool down, but you know, jerky is jerky. It's all good with me. When we come back, I'll let you know how long all this stuff took. All right, so overall it took about 5 hours to dry all this to how I like it. You can see that some of these kind of got glistening, and some of this is actual fat melting from the jerky itself, but some of it's also sugar. So just be aware of that. And some of it does still have a good portion of fat on it that I missed when I was cutting. So I'm going to go ahead, trim all that up, throw it into a Ziploc bag, and put it in the refrigerator, and we'll see how long it lasts because we keep eating it. But it unrefrigerated, it'll last for weeks. In the refrigerator, it'll last for months. Freezes really well. So we're going on a long road trip. So what I'll do is keep it in the fridge, and before that I'll parcel it out into, like, you know, so much per day per bag. But I did want to weigh it to see how much we got out of the 7.5 pounds we put in. All right, so what I have left is just under 4 pounds, and that includes what we've already snacked on. So I'm going to say we lost about, well, right about half of it during the drying process. The thing that gives me pause is that, of course, I weighed that before these were marinated. So I weighed it when they were raw, but we marinated it, so there's probably some additional weight in the marinade, but it's maybe negligible. So we'll say we lost about half of it during the drying process. But $1.99 a pound for pork versus $12.99 a pound for roast beef or any kind of beef that you want to do this. Pork's the way to go. Thanks again to Palmetto Prepared for showing me this recipe to begin with, and yeah, it's awesome stuff.